Everybody, we are back with another video for you today. Today we're going to be installing the wiring harness for a hitch. We actually had it quoted out through Dodge. They wanted to charge us $900 when we bought the van to put on a hitch with wiring. So we skipped on that. We thought we could get in touch with Uhaul and do it, which turned into being quite a bit more expensive than we expected. They wanted $450 just to wire the harness and the harness kit itself. So they wanted $300 in labor just to put in a wiring harness. And then the hitch itself was $150, I believe, for the install, and I don't know, $200 for the hitch itself. We watched a video on installing a hitch. It says for an expert it takes 20 minutes. For a novice, it takes 40 minutes, so we figured we should probably do it. And there was no chance we were about to spend $300 in labor just to put a little wiring harness into a van that is completely empty, not the one we're in, the one behind it. So we have Curt Manufacturing wiring harness, and it comes with, I'm knocking things over, some fuses and whatnot, and some probably power cable. Not sure. Gonna read the instructions. We're gonna do this. Hopefully it's pretty easy, but like I said, we weren't about to spend the money, so we will show you how this is done on a new van before the walls are in. If you're gonna add a hitch, we recommend doing it before you do everything else. So this wiring harness that we are putting in is in a 2019 Promaster. I believe it's the same harness for everything 2014 and up. I don't usually like to read directions, but definitely seemed like the smart thing to do. And it says step 1 is to disconnect the battery, the ground on the battery. So battery in a Promaster is under this little piece in the front. You just spin these little clips, and then there are a couple little flathead plastic pieces to loosen, and then this will pop out. And then there is a little groove at the front that it sits in, so I gotta get that to pop out. And there's the battery. So the ground negative from the battery goes to the frame here. We'll just disconnect that. Okay, so I took a 1/2-inch socket, took that guy out, and I just threw some paper towels under here so it won't fall back down and make a connection to the frame. Step 2 says open the rear cargo doors. I already did that. Is to get access to the taillight, so you're going to need to take out these 7 screws on both sides to take this housing off. I already did it on the other side, so she can take it and show you what it looks like. Don't have to get these off, but we know we're going to have to take them off later for our other wiring and our carpet job. So to make things a little easier, we're going to use our little nylon pry tools that we got at Harbor Freight. And they are pretty amazing. It was $8 for a set of 5 of them, and it pops these guys right out and actually doesn't ruin them, so you can take it, put them back in. This piece is quite a pain to get off. We learned on the last one. So I'm going to try not to break it. But there's a little tab on the top, and then there are 2 on the side that are really hard to get to down here. But if we get it, should just release, and I didn't break that one. So you want to push in on those. I snapped one on the other side, but it should be fine. And we may actually just make a nicer piece here anyways. All right, so I'm not really one for much with the directions. So Jess is being the good direction reader here. But from looking at this guy is obviously your 4-pin where the hitch lights mount. So that needs to go out. And then this guy is going to go to the light on the driver's side. And then this one will feed across the top of the van, down the wall to the other light. It doesn't look quite long enough currently, but it should be the right kit, so it should make it. So the next thing we do is disconnect the brake light in here. And so you don't want to break these. You're going to have just a little clip to push down on, and then that'll pull out. And what's going to happen is you're going to connect the new guy here and then this guy in, and then we will feed it across, do the same on the other side. So we're going to just run some wire here for a second. Alright, so Jess put this nice cover on here. We have fed the actual wiring pin one down through the wall. We got a little block up in here, and then we got to feed these over down the passenger side.
The black plastic cover does not come with the kit.
Yeah, we had some laying around.
We can link that for you guys below. It's simply just to protect the wire as we're pulling it around these sharp metal edges, because this is just a single strand of wire.
I hope that reaches. Hey there, we got the correct wiring harness. No thanks to Uhaul though, we are still on hold with them currently right now. It's about a half an hour hold every time we call. They said they're going to overnight it 4 days ago. Ooh, we get no person yet. Still haven't seen it. They did finally overnight the hitch that they couldn't find for us, which also was not a direct bolt-on. So if you are doing a hitch on your Promaster, the Class 3, the beefy Class 3 Curt hitch, you do have to grind off a grounding stud to get it to fit. We wanted that one because it's beefier. So we'll go ahead and keep showing you how to install this one that we got from Amazon much faster.
Thanks, Amazon.
For only $2 more.
Yep.
While we try to get our refund from Uhaul, because they weren't very helpful.
We do have a video on how to install the hitch, so if you're curious about what Greg just mentioned, how it's not great,
coming
check
soon.
it out.
Or maybe before this. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So, back to doing this. We put the protection cord over the green, which goes over to the passenger side. And we're going to feed these cables down through the driver's side. Alright, we ran both the wires. We put a protective sheath on it, so the ones with all the colors come down the driver's side. The green single one went all the way up around, back down the passenger side. And then we're going to unplug this guy here, clip that in, feed these down in here nicely. Clip this one back in, and then you got ground wire here. There's a ground stud right here, which is perfectly placed, so we'll just take that off and cinch this bad boy down onto there. Pretty self-explanatory, I don't need to show you how to do that. We're on the other side. Disconnect that guy. That's not the right way. This guy into there with a click. This one back into here with the click. That one doesn't have a ground. And then we ran the 4-pin out the bottom, so it's down the wall, same thing. Out the back, she'll show you where that is down below. You pull this little plastic cap off. We're gonna have to cut a hole in it, feed it through that, and put that back on. Then we'll mount this to the hitch over here. And then we just have to run a power wire.
So if you look under the driver's side bumper, you'll see this black plastic cover
Slice it
right here. And you peel it off, and then you can fit your wires down in that hole, and then you can cut a slice in that cover, feed your wires through, and put it back on. So you can see that we've put slits in that rubber cap, fed this PVC conduit through it, and then put it back into the van. It's going to run flush along the bottom of the bumper here over to the hitch, and we're going to drill some holes into the bumper and zip tie this up nice and flush so that it doesn't hang down. And that's pretty much it, right?
Yep.
So
gotta run the power wire.
Oh, run the power wire, yeah.
And mount the box in there.
Yeah.
So, in order to run the power wire the rest of the way, directions say I need to remove this black panel on, I think they call that the D channel or whatever, but this black panel, there's screws on the front and the rear, saying that I need to take off the side plate of the seat, which there are a bunch of screws there. I need to remove this plate, which is screws, this plate, which has screws under these. We'll use a flathead to access them. Get to those screws, and then these screws down in the bottom, which will remove all this plastic, which hopefully should allow us to feed the cable the rest of the way. Once again, the negative of the battery is disconnected for your safety. We'll cut it to size. So we're just crimping this. So from the battery, this will go onto the battery. It's your inline fuse, which it came with. And then this butt splice will splice into the power wire that we ran from the back by the battery. And then we will butt splice the two black parts in the back. And then that should be it, I think.
And the kit comes with all of this except for the tool, so
yeah,
you just need to put it together essentially.
And then I'm going to crimp them. I'm going to use some nice electrical tape just because I'm kind of anal. I don't want to make sure that these aren't going to come off down the road. But probably overkill, but it'll work.
Right, one of the last steps is connecting your power wire back to the black box module that is taped to the inside of the van here. So it comes with a butt connector. You just crimp those onto either end, and we taped it for extra security. You can see that we ran some plastic PVC conduit with the sharp parts here. So it goes all the way to the van, and now Greg is going to
put the fuse in.
Power.
If I can get that to close. Put this down nicely in here, and then I'm going to just reconnect our ground. And then we'll go and check it and make sure that it works.
Well guys, we tested it using my dad's trailer, and so it all works. It's all connected with power, and we are good to go. So Greg is just putting all of these random panels back into the floor of the driver's side, and that's that. So that's how to install a Curt wiring harness into a Promaster 2500. Like, subscribe, comment, leave us questions, and feel free to keep watching for other van build videos.